Is YouTube a competition? Well, for some it may be, but for me it's not. It's more about a community and a network sharing information. Now, we're going to talk about that more today, and there's going to be some name dropping, and before you change the channel, yours may be included. Let me get out of the wind, and we'll talk about this some more. So if you're like me, you're more into self-reliance. There's a guy named Sean up in Canada. I love watching his shows. And on my self-reliance, going to be some name dropping here because I'm going to tell you how I got to where my channel is now and how I found some of you guys also in your channels. So hopefully this is interesting. Maybe it can be helpful, and I'm going to have a challenge at the end of this. I see YouTube as a great, valuable resource for information. I call it YouTube University, and now my wife, she's addicted to watching home shows, and I like modern architecture shows. And if you're building a house or just into great architecture, there's a guy I've been following for a long time. His name's Eric. It's 30 by 40 Design Workshop. You go to him and follow him. I watch home building shows, and that brought me to a guy who I never knew him when I lived in Austin, Texas, but Matt Reisinger, The Build Show, awesome. And he's into what I'm into. He's just further down the road, and his show is a great resource for anybody building their own house. There's another one, and that's Essential Craftsman. When we moved into town, we got chickens, and we couldn't have cows and horses in the backyard. I grew up on a ranch, so I wanted something. I wanted a little bit more self-reliance, and that's probably what you're into also. At the same time, we were looking for a Bengal cat, and then that took us to a girl in Portland, and she had these Bengal cats, Bengal love. That kind of got me started. I found a couple moving to Idaho. They're going to build their own house, be self-sufficient, debt-free, and off-grid. Now, all of that made sense to me. So I started watching them. You know them, Pure Living for Life. As a SIPS builder, watching them build that house and not being able to help them, here I am screaming at the screen saying no. And my wife says, the only way you're going to be able to help people is to start your own channel. That brought me to all these homesteading shows, into Red Poppy Ranch. Now here's another great woman I just kind of started talking to. Her name's Paula Wells. I found her from mediating a couple other channels, and she does a great job of keeping the riffraff off of the live chats. I saw Wonderful Wild Off-Grid. I jumped onto them about a year and a half ago when they were at 30,000. Now they're over 300,000, I think. And so it's great to see them. They're entertaining, they're funny to watch, they flirt, they build a house, they got cute kids, and they're making it happen. Brought me to a guy, little homestead, and it's called Bear Paw Timber. I started watching his stuff and encouraging him. He expressed, are you gonna make it to the meetup? Well, there's a meetup, all these YouTubers and homesteaders. So I was watching that, and then there's a girl singing. That took me to Good Simple Living. They're taking their 4 kids, and they're gonna go build a house, and they're gonna homestead. They're giving it up in the city and moving out into the country. Watching her stuff, she mentions a family living in tents, and they're building their house. They're a former mission family. They're building their own house. They don't have the experience of building, but they're doing a great job. That's kind of what my channel is about, is encouraging people that want to and kind of giving them the tools. And they're a great example that if you're thinking that you can't build your own house, that Martin Johnson family, they're a great channel to watch and inspirational. So that led me to a couple other guys. There was a guy that helped him build named Dave. Dave's channel is called Imagine Acre Wood. Watching his stuff, then that led me to North Country Off Grid. They talk about a guy back in Virginia. You can hear guys say, woo-wee, he's pretty good. And then I think Good Simple Living is where they mentioned Keeping It Dutch. Most of these channels that I'm watching, they are not shy about expressing their faith. Neither am I. You've got these two guys. One is Arms Family Ranch. He just went over 200,000, and he was encouraged by Keeping It Dutch. Now, Keeping It Dutch, he's encouraging everybody. Now, these guys, like I said, men of faith. One's a Marine, one is a cop, because they're now encouraging a guy called the Crockers. They've even brought him up into their area in Oklahoma, and he's from Texas. Now, so for an Okie to accept a Texan and help him out, they're full of forgiveness. And they're expressing this knowledge and sharing it freely, which is really what my channel is about, because I think that information should be given freely. I think it's empowering to people that are searching for it. And it's kind of the golden rule. So the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if I'm going to lead by example, I have to practice what I preach. And I want to encourage my retired biker friend from New Mexico. And here's how I found a surfer, knife thrower, snake handler, buying land to build on. His name's Chris from Oregon, and I thought he was worthy of mentorship when he left a comment on one of my videos. And he said, I disagree with most everything you just said, but I still respect your opinion. And I want to encourage Miss Carter from Florida. She's a disabled veteran. She's converting a schoolie into a place to live. And I don't think it's too much to ask, but if you are in a position where you can help out the next person, then you should be doing that. I got fired from a job as an electrician, and I don't mind saying this, but I got fired because there was reports that this guy kept stopping and helping ladies on the side of the road that had a flat tire or ran out of gas, and wouldn't even tell them my name, but they got the name off the company truck and they called it in to say thank you. They fired me, and I'm fine with that. And I'm still willing to pull over on the side of the road and give somebody a hand, and that's what I think YouTube is for me. It's not a competition, it's a community, and encouraging that community. I want to do that same thing too. I want to extend that golden rule challenge to everybody out there. If I'm off base, or if I shouldn't even be asking this because you think YouTube should be a competition, then express it down below. I'll still be willing to help you. And now that Joey Hughes has joined us down in the lower 48, the ICF Cowboy, his channel is going to be documenting an alternative way to build houses. I will shout out this one to Melissa and Jeremy out at Good Simple Living. I was disillusioned. I got tired of all the negativity. I got tired of the lawsuits and the death threats. And I kind of about gave up on YouTube, and they encouraged me to keep on going. And that's exactly why I'm still here. So I want to thank them, and I want to thank you for watching the videos. And this whole YouTube community, let's go build it better. So now go build it better. It's a SIPS builder watching them walk. Yeah.